racing on Monday in the Eastern Cape, and it is a very, very competitive card. We've got the 8 races that are carded on the poly surface, and it is going to, it's going to be very, very open. We start off in race 1, which jumps at 12:30. It is a maiden plate for the fillies and mares over 1,200 meters. 1, 9, and 3 is how I will start off. I'm leading with Kiara, who runs out of the Johan Janse van Vuren yard. So far has had 2 starts in the Eastern Cape, and she's managed 2 good results. I do see her able to be very competitive here again. Those runs have all been over the 1,000-meter trip. She's been doing her best work late, and the extra furlong here could be right up her alley. Moving to number 9, and that is Giggle and a Talk. Giggle and a Talk is having her first run in the Eastern Cape, and she runs out of the yard of Gavin Smith. Her last start in KwaZulu-Natal, where she relocates from, was a decent 3rd. She'll be trying the blinkers here. The yard set could be a little bit sharp for her, but they are expecting a decent effort. Number 3, Showtime Baby. Her form is self-explanatory. She's been placed in all of her recent starts. She's really trying hard to shed that maiden tag, and running as consistently as she is, she should be right there again. Another maiden plate in race 2, this one up to the mile trip. 2, 1, and 3 are my first selections here. Hikaru ran a good second last time out, and it was good to see him bounce back because his penultimate had been very disappointing. In his last, he shook things up, took the lead, and he just ran out of puff late. That was over the mile trip as well on poly, and drawn neatly in gate 3. He should be really knocking hard for the win. Number 1, Prince Elf, whom I'm tipping to run behind him, also bumped him that day, where Hikaru had run 2nd to Pacific Duke. Prince Elf ran 3rd. I do think that Prince Elf, perhaps give him a little bit of leeway. He was debuting on the poly that day. He'll be more familiar with the surface, and having held form from the Highveld to PE, drawn well here, he should be making a bold bid as well. So they definitely do stand out. Moving on to pick for 3rd, and that is number 3, Chicago West. Certainly disappointing last time out, but if he gets back on track and reproduces his penultimate when finishing 2nd to Homer Fidget, he should be right there as well. Race 3, staying over the mile trip, would be a merit rated 82 handicap, and here 5, 1, and 6 is how I'm hoping it will go. Number 5, Storm Commander. He debuted in the Eastern Cape last time out over a little bit further on the poly 1900, and he just failed to run down Capernaum when going down in 2nd by only 0.05 of a length. He does step up in class here, and although he might have been a bit disappointing last time out, you've got to take into account that all really didn't go his way in the running, and the gaps opened too late. I think with some more luck in the running this time round, even though up in class, he can really be effective if you take into account his prior useful high-felt form, which for the most part had also been in decent company. Number 1, Thomas Tucker. Wasn't he an outstanding winner when taking the East Cape World Sports Betting Poly Challenge Leg 3 over the mile trip under a clever ride that day by Lyle Hewitson? Thomas Tucker really came through to do a great job in beating some useful horses, the likes of Earth Hour and Maramara Sea. He does therefore step down in class. As a result, though, he will carry top weight of 60 kilos. That last win was a good one over course and distance, and he definitely merits respect. Number 6, Full's Power, hasn't put a foot wrong here in Port Elizabeth. 3 starts for 2 wins, should I say, and a 2nd. He is really holding form. All those runs have been over course and distance, so once again, really well suited. And with the yard expecting another competitive run, he must be respected. Race 4 over the 1900-meter trip is a maiden plate for fillies and mares. 1, 3, 5. Is how I will be going. Diamonds and Toads has her first local start here for the Gavin Smith yard, and the KwaZulu-Natal form that she relocates off is very, very capable. Placed in all of her recent starts, she is in great form, and if she doesn't need the run, as sometimes KZN horses do, sometimes they just need the acclimatization of that first PE run, I think she's going to be a very, very hard knocker. The yard do say she's showing good work. They are expecting a good run, and Diamonds and Toads form really does stand out here. Number 3, Sienna, is a local horse in really good form. Last 3 starts, she's run a 2nd and 2/3, drawn neatly here. I do think that she's actually going to enjoy stepping up to try the distance for the first time, and Sienna should be right behind. Horse number 5, Chai, looks to be coming along the right way again. She has had her fair share of chances in the maidens as she starts here for the 25th time, but she's well suited to course and distance where she hasn't missed a check. The yards horses are on the up again, and I do think Chai can make it into the frame. Race 5 is a fillies and mares 67 handicap, and again over the 1900 metre trip. 4, 1 and 7 are my numbers. Sacred Ibis is another interesting newcomer relocating off KwaZulu-Natal form to the Gavin Smith yard, and last time out a good second in fillies and mares. 70 company back there, taking on similar to what she bumps here. Lyle Hewitson gets the ride, and Sacred Ibis in stellar form, another one, if not just caught out by having her first run in the Eastern Cape from Natal, should be knocking. Number 1, Malteser, had her local debut last time out for the Cliffy Miller yard off a slight rest. I think she did very well that day behind Mifford 2 to round up in 4th. The yard were happy with that run, do feel that she'll build on that, and are expecting her to show cheek here. Horse number 7 is La Duchesse, and she is a horse that over this type of trip, 1600 in the mile, she is generally giving her best. So her last was disappointing, but in saying that, the yard have had a bit of a patch. I do think on her prior form, and with the yard starting to turn, we should expect better from her. She's generally super consistent. She's going to enjoy the claim of Kyle Stradom here, and I certainly think on runs like second to Mifford 2 and 2.5 lengths of Arabiata, she can definitely get involved. Race number 6 is a merit rated 68 handicap, staying over the 1900 metre trip. First 3 numbers here, 6, 2 and 9. I do think that it's a very competitive field. Number 6, Fresh from the US, really catches my eye, mainly because of the really decent finish that he put in last time out on local debut. That debut was also his poly debut, and I think he really took to the surface well. With 400 to go, he was sitting 11th of the 13 runners, some 13 lengths off. He did a brilliant job to finish just over 4 lengths of a fool's power. He will try the distance for the first time, but the way that he finished over the mile that day really does suggest he's going to enjoy it, and I do think he's a very interesting runner. Number 2, Nijinsky's Son, he's well proven over 1900, and he is such a steady and consistent performer. I do think that it would be disappointing if he didn't find the frame here. Horse number 9 is my pick for third, and that is At the Opera out the Zietsman Oosthuizen yard. This fellow's merit rating has trickled back down again. He's a course and distance winner, and at this point in time he looks poised to strike, his last 2 runs having shown decent improvement. I do think we should expect him about the action. Back to a sprinting trip of 1200 metres for race 7, which is a fillies and mares 78 handicap. Here horses of interest 4, 5 and 3. Forest Field, I do think, could be a little bit of value here. Last time out, it may appear an under par run on paper, but don't overlook the fact that she was trying 1400 again, and she didn't have the best of draws to have to come over from. Her prior sprint form was solid, and when you see a run like just under 3 lengths of Joyful Noise, who this past Friday she ran an absolute cracker in the listed Milkwood Stakes, you realise you've got to keep your eye on her. Prior to that, in fact, she had not missed the first 2 in her last 4 starts, which included a win. So I think that Forest Field, daughter of Marchfield, she is in good form, and back over a sprinting trip is certainly a horse to consider here. Number 5, Mesmerizing Moon, has done nothing but find the placings since leaving the maidens. She is in great form. She's knocking for that second career win, and she's very much a runner here. I think a horse that we can expect improvement from is number 3, Makara. Admittedly, she did drop the ball last time out. She stopped to absolutely nothing. But if you take into account her really brave win the time before when beating Mendocino in a fillies and mares 86, it's obvious that the ability is there. So expect better from her. Race 8, last of the day, will round up again over 1200 metres in a merit rated 68 handicap, and I'll finish up here with numbers of 12, 3 and 5. Number 12 is Mousy On Over from the Sharon Kotzen yard, and the twice over colt, he really ran a good second last time out behind Atkinson Grimshaw, who had been knocking for the win. That was over the 1300. I don't think the cutback of 100 metres here is going to be too much of a problem, and I do think on that run he's a horse to keep an eye on. Number 3 is Teophilia, and he was so unlucky last time out. absolutely flying late. He just couldn't get to a stable companion, Waldorf Astoria, and went down in second by 0.1 of a length. That was 1400, but he has useful form over course and distance. The cutback in trippers is of no concern, and expect Teophilia to be knocking again. In third, a horse like number 5, Forest of Green, is certainly a runner. He does have a wide draw to overcome, which is going to make it a bit tougher for him, but he's racing with useful form since leaving the maidens, and I do think he can get a look in here. The PA will get underway at 1:05, race 2, and it's a maiden plate over the mile trip. I start off with a banker here of number 2, Hikaru. I do think that between him and Prince Elf, it should be a race between these two horses, and I do think that Hikaru is a safe bet as far as the first 3 are concerned. So banker in the first leg of the PA. Go wider in the next leg, where horses 1, 5 and 6, my first 3 selections in a merit rated 82 handicap over the mile trip, are all of number 1, Thomas Tucker, 5, Storm Commander, and Fool's Power, all inclusions there. Again, a banker in the PA as we move on to race 4, and here the horse that catches my eye is Diamonds and Toads. She relocates with some really hard knocking KwaZulu-Natal maiden form, and I do think that she can get it right here. Again, wider in the PA with 3 selections in leg 4, race 5 over 1900, which is a fillies and mares 67 handicap. My first 3 selections of Malteser, Sacred Ibis, and the likes of La Duchess will be included, hoping there that a few can run into the money and we've got a chance of doubling up. On to race 6, leg 5 of the PA, and here 2, 6 and 9 will be my selections. Nijinsky Sun, Mr. Consistency, can't be left out. A lot of respect on the late run produced last time out from number 6, Fresh from the US, and also number 9 At the Opera, who looks to be on the up again. All go in. Numbers 3, 4 and 5 in race 7 will go into the PA for me in the penultimate leg. Makara, Forest Field and Mesmerizing Moon, all horses I think really should get into the mix. And again, race 8, always an open affair. The whole day in fact is open, and I have elected to go with another 3 selections for the PA here in the way of number 3 Teophilia, number 5 Forest of Green, and number 12 Mousy on Over. Pick 6 in race 3 at 22.2 starts off with the inclusions of the PA numbers 1, 5 and 6. I then add in number 2 Duke of Cards, who loves the Poly. The miles always proved a little bit of a stretch for him. I do think if things go his way though, he's not without a chance at getting there. Undoubtedly better than that last run, definitely disregard it. Number 4, Peaceful Day, is another one who didn't quite produce on local debut, but if you look at his previous form, he does have upset potential. Number 7, Up Early, takes a leap up in class here, but one thing is for sure, he is most at home on the Poly, and another horse that could just pop up to surprise. Sticking with the bank of number 1, Diamonds and Toads, for the second leg of the pick 6, bankered her in my PA and will follow through in the pick 6. In the pick 6, I actually changed from the PA in race 5. In the PA, I had 3 selections, hoping to add a bit more value, perhaps double or treble up there. The pick 6, I'm going to take a chance and stick with the bank of number 4, Sacred Ibis, who's a very interesting newcomer to the Gavin Smith yard and races off good KwaZulu-Natal form. I do think that if she goes missing, you're going to have to include quite a few more here, but her form really does stand out, and I'm hoping she can bring it through for us. In race 6, the PA numbers of 2, 6 and 9 will definitely be included in the pick 6. And in leg 4 of the pick 6, I then go on to add 4, 5, 7 and 8. Imperious Duke, a good winner last time out. Number 5, Full Score, got the type of form that makes him a horse to consider. The likes of number 7, Tom and Jerry, good last if he doesn't need this, also got upset potential. And number 8, World Cruise, really ran a good third last time out behind Capernaum, which is a valid form line here, and it is collateral form that he actually tops, so don't be leaving him out. Penultimate leg of the pick six, 3, 4, 5. The PA numbers, definite inclusions, and just one more addition here. Number 1, Travel and Style. She's much better than that last run. Runs behind Le Duchess and Viking Moon, Blue Duchess and Viking Moon really stand out. And if she can put that last run behind her, she can get a look in here. Race 8, PA numbers 3, 5, and 12 will be bolstered in the pick 6 by 2, 11, and 14. Number 2 being Wicked Grin, who blew the start in his last and is certainly better than that. Number 11, Radiant Love, a winner last time out, but a very gallant one, could be there again. And then number 14, a Spanish Fort, running off 2 good placings, also a horse to include. As far as the jackpot goes, it does differ slightly from the pick 6. It gets underway in race 4, and here I stay with the first banker, the initial banker of Diamonds and Toads in the first leg of the jackpot. But the pick 6 banker in the next leg of Sacred Ibis, I do go wider, and I really feel that if you have to look for her to get beat, you really have to include quite a few. So the PA numbers of 1, 4, and 7 are definite inclusions, and added to them, I will include the likes of number 5, With Our Blessing, who ran a great race on Friday. Number 6, Close to My Heart, who is never far back and really trying hard to get that next win under the belt. And horses 9, Soho Spirit, and 10, Dancing Girl, also worth including. The last 2 legs of the jackpot do follow the same lines as the pick 6. To round up, I'm sure by now you've worked out that Diamonds and Toads will be my best bet. That is the newcomer in the maiden race in race 4, horse number 1. And then value for me in race 7 is horse number 4, Forest Field, from the Duncan Mackenzie yard. It is a very competitive day, but it does make it all the more fun, and I hope you have a great afternoon on Monday racing with us.